Hi, this is Ken Quinn with U.S. Term Limits. Take a guess when it was first suggested to have an Article 5 convention for term limits. You might be thinking maybe 1990s, back when term limits was very popular in America. We had 23 states passing laws, most of that at the ballot box, to put term limits on their members of Congress. 22 states also passed laws putting term limits on their state legislatures, and also the Contract with America was pushing term limits. But no, it wasn't the 1990s. So maybe earlier, like maybe the 1890s? Nope. It was even before the 1890s. How about the 1790s? Obviously, it couldn't have been any earlier than that, could it? Yes, it could. In fact, the very first time somebody suggested to have an Article 5 convention for term limits was 1 month after the U.S. Constitution was ratified. Now, this comes from a pamphlet written by Tench Coxe, a gentleman from Pennsylvania. He was also a delegate to the Annapolis Convention of 1786. And in his pamphlet called A Friend of Society and Liberty, dated July 23rd, 1788, he said this, quote, "You have been told also that after the new Constitution takes place, the officers under it may become perpetual. Now it is fully and absolutely secure that no representative, senator, president, or vice president can continue beyond a stipulated time. And if the people think that time too long, they can get their state legislatures to apply for its being shortened. If 9 legislatures out of 13 apply this year, or 10 years hence, there must be a convention called to consider the point," unquote. There you have it. Tench Coxe, the first person to suggest an Article 5 convention for term limits. The best part is what he said at the end of his letter. He said this, quote, "It must therefore be evident to every candid man that 2/3 of the states can always procure a general convention for the purpose of amending the Constitution, and that 3/4 of them can introduce those amendments into the Constitution, although the President, Senate, and Federal House of Representatives should be unanimously opposed to each and all of them," unquote. Well, there you have it. That is a perfect description of what U.S. Term Limits is trying to do. We are advancing the cause that Tench Coxe began in 1788 to have the states propose a term limits amendment for Congress without their consent or approval. Join the term limits revolution. Go to termlimits.com and get involved today.